Nana's heart was heavy with remorse, burdened by the belief that it was her plea for help that had led Huo Yuhao into this difficult situation. She couldn't help but regret her decision, echoing her mother's words about her cursed existence and the misfortune she brought upon those she cared for. However, Huo Yuhao's reassuring words washed over her like a soothing balm, urging her not to fear because he was right there beside her. His unwavering declaration took Nana aback, but Huo Yuhao stood firm, promising to cleanse their souls of impurities. At that moment, Nana felt as if she was gazing upon a divine being. A brilliant, pure white light radiated from Huo Yuhao's eyes, illuminating the world around them with a breathtaking magnificence that rivaled the sun itself. This celestial light seemed out of place in their reality, penetrating every soul and eradicating their tainted, blood-stained aura. The once crimson rituals were transformed into a pristine white, suspended in midair as if frozen in time. As the purifying light enveloped the great Holy Spirit, he crumbled to his knees, consumed by a shroud of black smoke, surrendering to the cleansing power that washed over him. Nana found herself momentarily lost in thought, but snapped back to reality when she noticed Huo Yuhao's concerned gaze fixed upon her. He stressed the importance of time, emphasizing the need to locate her parents quickly. Aware of the imminent danger they faced due to the intense purification, Nana understood the urgency and agreed to join him in their mission to rescue her parents. Huo Yuhao, intrigued by the purified incarnation of the second Holy Spirit, decided to awaken it and seek answers about the great Holy Spirit. Holding it up, he expressed his intention to learn more about the Holy Spirit sect and the whereabouts of their main altar. In response, the second Holy Spirit questioned who had purified it. Huo Yuhao urged it to speak quickly and proceeded to interrogate it about the nature of its sect. The second elder, addressing Huo Yuhao, inquired if he was the Holy Son and asserted that only those with strong divine power had the authority to accompany the Holy Emperor and govern the world. Huo Yuhao, determined to get answers, threatened to obliterate the second elder's soul, leaving him unable to be reborn. In a cryptic response, the second elder hinted that one day, the Holy Emperor would find Yuhao, and perhaps then, the Holy Emperor would rule the universe. With a final invocation for the Holy Emperor's eternal reign, the second elder took his own life without hesitation, leaving Huo Yuhao puzzled about the true nature of the sect they had encountered. After a quarter of an hour, Huo Yuhao observed that everyone else seemed to have found their parents. He realized that the altar was in ruins, and the signal to leave had been given. Despite this, the crowd refused to go, instead hailing him as their hero and thanking him for granting their deepest desires. Huo Yuhao was taken aback by being called a hero, but the people explained that they had nothing left, no honor, no home, no authorities to turn to, and were ready to devote themselves to him forever. He was amazed by their loyalty and the intensity of their devotion. The group of individuals desperately implored Huo Yuhao to take them in, explaining that they were now homeless and he had rescued them from the clutches of the holy sect. They saw him as a father figure and felt they had no choice but to stick with him. Huo Yuhao was surprised by their request and modestly mentioned that he was just a transfer student, not in a position to be their leader. Nevertheless, he reassured them that he had a plan. He revealed that at Shrek Academy, he was affiliated with the Tang sect, a group with a 1,000-year history. Although he knew they couldn't directly join the academy, he encouraged them to become part of the Tang sect, which operated similarly. He urged them to leave that very night, emphasizing the urgency of the situation and the need to act quickly. Under the cloak of darkness, Huo Yuhao completely transformed his appearance to mirror Nana's, while simultaneously morphing Kai Tu into Nana's shadow. With utmost stealth, they skillfully maneuvered their way back to the academy, ensuring that they remained undetected by the vigilant guards. Finally reaching the safety of their dormitory, a faint noise echoed from the direction of the Holy Sack's altar. To their astonishment, it became apparent that Kai Tu's timed soul bomb had detonated, reducing the once majestic altar to mere rubble in a matter of seconds. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Huo Yuhao urgently conveyed to Kai the importance of informing Shrek Academy about the incident. He emphasized the dire need to thwart the growth of this evil faction. Despite being amidst a long vacation at the Sun and Moon Empire's Royal Soulmaster Academy, Huo Yuhao remained steadfast in his mission, choosing to dedicate his time to researching soul weapons in his dorm room. However, it seemed that trouble had an uncanny way of finding him, as evidenced by a sudden knock on his door during his intense research session. Huo Yuhao couldn't believe his eyes when he saw Kai Tu standing at the door. He knew that Kai Tu always had a way of grabbing attention. Inviting him inside, Kai Tu referred to Huo as his little brother, which made Huo feel a sense of familiarity and warmth. Kai Tu couldn't contain his excitement, so he revealed that something amazing had happened, promising Huo a surprise. Naturally, Huo's curiosity got the best of him, and he couldn't help but ask about the surprise. However, Kai-tu insisted that Huo had to come with him to see it. Huo hesitated, explaining the importance of his ongoing research. But Kai-tu, being Huo's caring friend, questioned Huo's addiction to studying. He pointed out that Huo had been working tirelessly all day and needed to take a break. Kai-tu advised him to relax and reminded him that being constantly tense wasn't good for his health. Huo couldn't help but feel a sense of déjà vu, as if he had heard those words before. Despite his initial reluctance, Huo and Kai-tu decided to embark on this surprise adventure together. As they got closer to the location, Huo spotted Jing Ziyan and Jijue Chen. He couldn't help but wonder if they were the surprise that Kai-tao wanted to show him. Jing Ziyan declared that they had finally caught him, while Jijue Chen playfully invited Huo to engage in another fight. Huo, being skeptical, questioned if Kai-tu was playing a joke on him, as Jing Ziyan and Jijue Chen had a habit of nagging him. However, Kai-tao reassured him that they were not a surprise. Huo politely excused himself, mentioning other important matters that required his attention. Jing Ziyan excitedly proposed to Huo Yuhao that they should take a break and enjoy a relaxing spa session together. Chen agreed, mentioning that they hadn't hung out in a while. Huo Yuhao was taken aback by their suggestion, pointing out that they had just spent time together the day before. Despite his objections, they insisted on challenging him once more, declaring that they wouldn't leave him alone until he faced them. Huo Yuhao, feeling frustrated, asked for some time alone, but they countered by saying he could have his solitude only if he agreed to a fight. Huo Yuhao sighed, recognizing their persistent nature and finding them to be quite a handful. As they prepared to battle in the open area, they launched an attack on Huo Yuhao. Trying to dodge their moves, Huo Yuhao found himself being cornered. Jijue Chen soon realized that Huo Yuhao had powered up, prompting Jing Ziyan to warn Chen to be cautious and avoid getting hurt. Suddenly, they all noticed a strikingly handsome man approaching. Chen admitted he didn't recognize the newcomer, while Huo Yuhao pondered over his identity. However, Huo Yuhao soon remembered him and called out his name, Wang Dong. As soon as Wang Dong arrived, Yuhao rushed towards him with open arms, enveloping him in a warm embrace. He couldn't contain his excitement at finally seeing his dear friend. In response to Yuhao's sarcastic remark, Ziyan retorted with a sarcastic reply of her own, implying that their confrontation was all part of the game, fair in love and war. As tension mounted, power surged towards Wang Dong, prompting both parties to prepare for the impending clash.
Do you want to know the name of this manga, along with all the manga names of the recaps we did in our channel? How about also the chapter numbers our recaps end? You can simply ask the names in our Discord community for free or become a donor to get them all in one place. You can either be a donor in Patreon or be a member in our YouTube channel. Just scan this QR code or go to the link in the description to become a donor. Moreover, becoming a donor automatically makes you a VIP member of our Discord server with over tens of thousands of members.
With unwavering determination, they summoned the permafrost domain Ice Scorpion Emperor Torso to counter Ziyan and Chen's assault. Ziyan's expression shifted to one of concern as she observed the foreign solidity of their attack, indicating a potential challenge to overcome. As the confrontation escalated, Ziyan made the decision to join forces with Chen, urging him to unleash their combined power. Chen affirmed his commitment, vowing not to hold back. In response, Wang Dong remained resolute, dismissing any fear and inviting their attack. With unwavering resolve, Ziyan brandished her cracking 9-link whip while Wang Dong stood firm, poised with his sword, ready to defend against their assault. The clash of forces seemed inevitable. As Chen unleashed his most powerful attack on Yuhao, the latter was taken aback by the sheer force behind it. Realizing the urgency of the situation, Yuhao gestured to Wang Dong, indicating that it was time to unleash their spirit fusion technique. With their minds in perfect harmony, they embraced each other, causing a burst of radiant energy to envelop their surroundings. Ziyan, observing their closeness, mistakenly assumed they were a couple, intensifying the moment even further. The combined might of Yuhao and Wang Dong materialized into a rare and formidable spirit technique, appearing as a dazzling beam of light. As the brilliance gradually faded, Chen couldn't help but acknowledge the overwhelming strength demonstrated by their fusion. The appearance of a golden path hinted at the immense power they possessed, leaving Chen to contemplate the daunting challenge that lay ahead. Chen gazed at the golden road with awe, marveling at its beauty, and realizing that surpassing Yuhao was a daunting challenge in his current lifetime. Ziyan expressed her admiration for Yuhao as a worthy goal to strive for, showing her deep respect for his abilities. Despite their recent disagreement, they parted ways with a sense of unity, promising to meet again in the future. Intrigued by their dynamic, Wang Dong asked Yuhao about his relationship with Ziyan and Chen, noting that they didn't act like typical foes. Yuhao revealed that both Ziyan and Chen enjoyed sparring with him due to their shared love for combat. Although Wang Dong's sudden appearance caught him off guard, Yu Hao was pleased to see his friend. As Yu Hao and Wang Dong stepped into Yu Hao's dorm room, Yu Hao warned his friend about the clutter and grime in the space. He promised Wang Dong that he would swiftly clean up using his handy spirit storage tools. After tidying up, Yu Hao brewed a cup of tea for Wang Dong. Yet Wang Dong reminded him of their earlier chat and prodded him to respond promptly. He directly inquired if Yu Hao had any romantic entanglements with the girls they had just encountered. Yu Hao clarified to Wang Dong that things were not as they seemed. When Yu Hao first enrolled in the school, he met a girl named Orange. She was not only stunning but also compassionate, with a tragic past similar to Yu Hao's. However, Orange was extremely secretive, and even now, Yu Hao was uncertain of her whereabouts. Despite her enigmatic nature, they had many heartfelt conversations, during which Orange shared her desire to find her soulmate. Wang Dong observed how Orange always put Yu Hao first, and he inquired if she still had a special place in Yu Hao's heart. Yu Hao hesitated before confessing that there was something more, but he warned Wang Dong not to mock him. He reminisced about the first time he saw Orange gracefully dancing on the ice, her beauty shining brighter than anything he had ever seen. The image of her elegance stayed with him. Yu Hao revealed that Sister Ju Zi helped him make sense of his feelings. Despite Orange's dazzling presence being beyond his wildest dreams, he worried that he had fallen for an idealized version of her. Wang Dong reassured Yu Hao that there was a girl in his family just as lovely as Orange, and he promised to introduce them at the right time. Yu Hao replied that if she was truly as beautiful as described, he might find himself falling for her. However, he stressed the importance of mutual acceptance and compatibility, explaining that she would need to accept him for who he was, and he would need to see if her personality matched his preferences. Wang Dong then told Yu Hao about his soul force hitting level 60, which meant he needed to go back home to find a suitable spirit beast. He invited Yu Hao to join him on this quest, promising to be back before the break was over. Yu Hao agreed without hesitation, surprising Wang Dong. Wang Dong asked if Yu Hao was worried about delaying his training, but Yu Hao assured him that they could train together without any interruptions. Impressed by Yu Hao's dedication, Wang Dong thought to himself that Yu Hao was always focused on training. Yu Hao then asked about the latest news from Shrek Academy. As the conversation between Yu Hao and Wang Dong about the situation at Shrek Academy continued, the darkness of night enveloped them. Yu Hao, realizing how late it had become, suggested finding a solution for Wang Dong's sleeping arrangements. He pointed out the limited space on the bed and playfully proposed that they share it. However, Wang Dong jokingly brushed off the idea, claiming that Yu Hao must be dreaming. He insisted on taking the bed while Yu Hao slept on the floor. Wang Dong then excused himself to freshen up, leaving Yu Hao to prepare the sleeping arrangements.